Alright, hope you guys are doing well. The last couple days were really busy for me, so my apologies for the slower uploads. It should pick up speed in the next upcoming week. So, for the last 2 or 3 PvP videos, I kept forgetting to add one very important part of it, and that is the salt. So, in a moment, you will see some of the saltiest messages that I have been receiving in the last week or two, and there's going to be a lot of salt in this video, so make sure that you have a lot of water nearby, because I believe you'll need water after reading all that salt. So, and besides the salt, I will show you some of the tricks that you can use in PvP, in combat. Some of the tricks that a lot of you guys have been asking me to show you, and I'm more than happy to give away some of our secrets that we use, since they have changed some of the mechanics in the game lately, and one certain mechanic has been constantly changing over time. So I'll be talking about that, and I'll show you that in practical use. I think that's going to be one very interesting aspect for today. But yeah, the salt is turning into overload mode. Today you will see a lot of juicy ships make some very pretty explosions, and you are going to see a lot of very angry pilots that lost their ships. So sit back, put the seatbelt on. I mean, put all the belts on, because you will need them for all the salts, because it's going into overdrive. It's going into warp speed. My apologies. That's more accurate. A more accurate term that I should be using today. So the first thing that I will show you is some of the tactics that we use. Now, the lock trap tactic works for sub-capitals. Don't attempt lock traps with capitals, it's just not going to end well. These things are just ridiculously slow, and they are actually very easy to scan down. Meanwhile, the other sub-capitals are actually much more, I would say, much more better for that job, but at the same time, it's still a very risky maneuver. However, there is a way how to do it properly. Now, let me jump in the Macarial, and I have my Macarial, I have my alt over here as well. And now,
undocking.
I will undock on both. So, the proper way how to do a lock trap. Now, most players just turn off the game. They force shut down the game. Now, while you can do that, it's not really something that I would do. You have the safe log option, and this also can help players who can't reach a station in time, that have to log out. This is one of the more safer ways how you can log out in low sec. So basically, you click on your ship, you click on the quit button, although you have to have no. This doesn't work if you have a criminal timer. This doesn't work if you have the station protection on, and it will be interrupted if you are getting locked on or if you're getting shot by anything. If someone is locking you on or shooting you, the safe log will not work. So when you log out, you can see my ship warp away there on the second screen, and on the main screen you see the game is still active. My account is still in the system. And watch when I lose connection. The moment I lose connection, that's the moment where my account will vanish from the local. And when you scan, it does not show anything on the scanner. So my ship vanished the second I lost connection. And when I log back in, let me just quickly do that. When I click on my ship screen, pay attention to local. It's going to be very important to see when the account is actually counted as being logged in. Still nothing on scanner. I have clicked on the account, and well, it popped right in the local, and it's already in warp. This is one safe way how to log out in low sec without getting killed by hunters. Now you will see an example of a failed logout, and you'll see an example of someone who did not do the safe logout. All of which can serve as a good example on how the mechanics of the game work. Now the Macariel is fast. How about something slower? Let's take a Barghest. Now the Barghest's maneuverability is somewhere between a carrier and a battleship. It's definitely not the most agile ship. It feels clumsy to fly this thing. But you know, let's do another test with a different ship. I will do the same thing. Let me just get rid of the station protection timer, and then when I do that, I can safely, well, I can do the logout. Though still, there's always a chance if you have a timer. If you have the yellow timer, your ship might not disappear in space. So if you do the safe logout, make sure that you have no timer, because the yellow timer prevents your ship from disappearing in space. Also, something to keep in mind. And with the yellow timer, you can log out, but if you're getting shot by something, the timer, the safe logout will not work. Okay, well, I have logged out, well, technically logged out, but still in the game. The account and your ship will be in space right up until the moment when you land. Now, if someone gets lucky, they can technically scan you and warp to your location, but by the time they land, they will basically see empty space, because your ship will disappear the second you log out. And my ship is gone. I clicked on the scanner and nothing on the scanner. Beautiful. Okay, well, this is I guess how to log out in lowsec without getting killed, or how to log out in lowsec without waking up to a pod on the gate or a station or anywhere else. Okay, well, let me dock the space pan and let me go and do some actual combat now. I like to give examples in actual combat. I think that's the most natural way, so that's why it might take a while to get the right moment. But in actual combat, not on the test server, but in the actual game, I like to give the best possible example of what you can expect. Okay, for some reason what's up with my screen? My screen went berserk there for a moment. Anyway, let's dock spacepan. Usually if you log out in space, your ship will not immediately disappear, but it will disappear if you're logged out for a couple minutes. And then later on again in this video you will see that happening to someone. That's not going to be a happy player, that's for sure. And well, that was one Dominix that disappeared in space. Wasn't a safe logout. Now, how can you notice if someone did a safe logout versus someone who did force shut down the game? A safe logout will see the ship warp away, and the pilot in local will disappear when the ship disappears once it reaches the end of the warp tunnel. A force logout will show the pilot vanish in local, and then the ship will warp, and you have about 30 seconds to scan them down and tackle them. Now, a skilled hunter, like the two hunters that you see here in the Astra frigate, can scan down a battleship that logged out within like 10 seconds, average 15 seconds at best, below 10 seconds. We have been doing this for a while and we're quite used to it, so 99.99% of ships get caught. Even a Dramiel gets caught in this way. And well, this is an example of a bad logout, because don't force shut down the game in space. If you do, this is probably going to happen to your ship. It's going to get scanned and killed. Now you have 30 seconds, and you still have a good chance to survive, although again, hunters that have been playing the game for years now have mastered the art of scanning down a logged out ship. So you don't want to play with the chances of encountering skilled hunters in your system, so always make sure that you safe log out the game. Click on the ship, click the quit button, and then wait out until the ship vanishes. You should be safe. And of course, make sure you have no timers. And well, there goes the Dominix. That was the first kill for today. That was a beautiful catch as well. Well, that player is not going to be happy when they log in. And one fun fact, the destroyed ship will remain in space until the combat timer is out or until they log back in. But I think it is going to be there in space until the combat timer runs out. We had the chance to experience that with a bubble ship. Basically the ship remained in space until the timer ran out, although the ship was destroyed. So also a very interesting little mechanic that you can learn and that can help you at being better at this game. Okay, now let me warp out and let me wait out the criminal timer with the Astra. Now, I talked about log traps, and the log traps have kinda been nerfed because back in the day you were able to do a log trap despite being locked, scrambled, webbed, despite being shot at. Now you can't really do that. The safe log option will be interrupted each time you're getting locked by, or locked by anything basically. Each time you're taking a hit, it will be basically interrupted. You can't safe log out if you have a criminal timer or a weapon timer. The game will just not let you do that. So that's one of the things that have been gradually changed. Just 2 months ago that wasn't the case, 3 months ago that wasn't the case. Basically, if you remember that Minokawa that was destroyed, they did not safe lock, they force shut down the game. And well, we had a hero, Astra, that sacrificed the ship to get the Minokawa a combat timer so that their ship will remain in space even after they logged out. And that's how the salty Minokawa kill was made. Totally fair, totally within the game's mechanics, and no bug has been used whatsoever. What they said that there was a bug, that's a lie. They tried to save face, but that's not gonna work because you will see me try to safe log out while being shot by something, and it's not going to work. And at the time, you were not able to log out safely without. You were not able to log out safely if you're getting shot by anything, or if you have a criminal timer or a combat timer. And well, that was my miscalculation. Happens. Should have warped at 80, although the Macarial was already aligned, so they were already warping away anyway. Should have taken the status, like I did take the status when I was fighting with that Hyperion, if you remember, a long time ago. Or the Rock. Now the thing that you hear in the background is actually my PC. That's my, not the cooler fan, but the PCU fan needs to be a little bit, needs to be replaced. And if you hear something crackling or if you hear something loud in the background, that's my PC that sounds like a V8 engine right now, which I don't mind. I mean, the sound of a V8 engine is pretty good. Okay, now I'm warping back because the Macarial went back to the station, and I will attempt to do a lock trap. The safe way, of course, not the forced shutdown way. I have the yellow timer, so my ship will probably remain in space, although my alt is in the system, watching for scanners. So, let's attempt a safe lock. Well, okay, ship needs to be out of warp. You have to wait 5 seconds, but someone targeting you can do that. Someone targeting, locking your ship, can safe log. Third attempt. Okay. An attempt to warp to space is... But nope, someone is targeting me, so it got interrupted. It got interrupted like 4 or 5 times by now. And well, this is how a safe log looks. So once you wait out for everything to target you, to shoot at you, and well, once
Warp
all of them
drive
start
active.
doing damage, or well, if they start shooting at you, now I can safely log out. And I'm still in local, by the way. I'll be in local until the game turns itself off. That's when the ship will disappear in space. Well, it will not disappear in space because I have the timer, but you know what I'm talking about here. And now I will wait for a couple moments. My alt is watching the system, and looks like the Macarial warped somewhere, so I log back in an attempt to catch them landing, and then I will be able to tackle them. A very, very, very lethal and a very effective way of catching the targets, but the Macarial left the system. Oh well, was a nice attempt anyway. Next time I guess they left the system. Okay, so next target we have a Myrmidon. And I scanned the target, I scouted the target with the Astro, and I went back to a ship to take the Cinnabon, change the implant and things like that, and then I can go to engage the target. Now usually I do this with one account. It's much easier if you use a alt for this job. For the scout and scan job, the alt is going to be perfect, but since I like to go the true solo way, and when I get a chance to, I do the combat completely alone without using alts and things like that.
Drive active.
So I scan the target, scout the target, change the ship per ship, and go back to the field. That's how I usually do things. Although flying in a fleet is fun, and actually I recommend that you fly in a fleet because nowadays everything has a million stabs. And well, another moment where I should have taken the Stratius. You know, the Stratius has been calling me for a while now. I'm not really sure why I don't fly that ship. Every time I say, nah, I'll just don't fly the Stratius today. Every time I do that, the target is aligned. So I think I'll just probably have to start flying the Stratius a lot more often.
Undocking.
Now, there has been one guy baiting in an anomaly. I think it was a Caracal sniper, a Caracal navy. I have no idea. In any case, I'll go and engage the target. Oh, it was a Caracal navy. Okay, still a good ship for a bait, but let's see what happens. I have the classic Citadel build. This is the build that I like to use on this ship. A general multi-purpose build that I really like, that I see a lot of other players use, and so far this build hasn't disappointed. Okay, let's see what happens here. A suspicious Caracal indeed. Well, okay. And I can definitely feel the nerf on the barrage implant. That nerf is definitely noticeable. I forgot to check what's my maximum DPS now. It's still pretty high, but implant has been significantly nerfed. I think I lost like 2/3 of my total DPS, something like that. I'm very curious to see the build on that Caracal. Well, yeah. I don't know what kind of bait build that is, but it's hilariously cursed. Next target we have one Nereus 2. Okay. And the Nereus 2 has been destroyed. I smell salt is in the air, and besides salt I smell bling. Usually when there's something bling, there is salt pretty close to it, so we're about to find out. Oh, 5.2 billion. Very nice. So, a bunch of capital stuff. A C-type capital shield booster. Yummy. My friends will definitely be happy when I send this screenshot to them. They have been looking for a C-type capital booster for a while, and well, they will get one for free. It's sad that the other capital stuff did not drop. Was pretty good, pretty juicy. Looks like a Phoenix build. Well, no, not anymore, I guess. Next targets, we have one Apocalypse Striker that's lost all of the shield and armor for some reason. They jumped in with that, so not really sure what was happening with this ship. The Apocalypse Striker is shooting at my friends, but my friend is tanky, so you know there's few ships that can easily tank the few battlecruisers that can easily tank the Apocalypse Striker, and most of them are actually armor tank ships because armors are really good for tanking lasers. Let's take a look at the kill. 3.2 billion. Nice. A classic sniper Apocalypse Striker. They usually are easy kills because they have no tank. Next we have a succubus. Now the thing with the neutralizers, this thing now works like a mini Chemosh. I talked about that before. And the capital neutralizers are really good now. So I started to use them, and so far I have been enjoying using them. Okay, that's a very interesting succubus. Unfortunately, it wasn't the really expensive afterburner. There are some collectioner items, collectioner modules that are worth like billions that are no longer available in the game. I have a bunch of them, and we'll probably look to sell them at one point. Next target we have one Dominix. Now this Dominix tried to warp away, but that's not going to work. I swap between the main guns, and I like to swap between the high angle turrets from time to time. Both are fantastic platforms, but I think I'll still prefer the main turrets a bit more. I mean, it's very situational in the end, and oh my god, this is a cursed Dominix. Let's not look at that build anymore. Next we have a Macariel. Now this Macariel seems to have some very nice shield resistances. I am in siege. Well, their capacitor is definitely not going to be in a very good place after the second cycle. The capital neutralizers they kill so much capacitor, it's unbelievable. And I have the general unit that increases the strength, the neutralizing strength, so yeah, I can cap a battleship in 2 cycles from the revelation, which honestly is pretty good. I could technically add a third one, and I plan to do that. A third will just be evil. 3 neutralizers, that's going to cap a battleship in 1 cycle, which kinda is my goal, honestly. Is going to work really well against ships that are dependent on capacitor. This thing really feels like a Blood Raider ship now, and I love it. So if you want a early Chemosh experience, go with the Revelation. You will definitely enjoy it. Well, that was a nice kill. One more battleship kicked the bucket. Let's take a look at the kill. 3.1 billion. Okay, I feel like, yep, it feels like this Macariel is a little bit cursed. They are missing couple modules. Okay, why would anyone eat a Macariel that misses modules? I have no idea. Next we have a Vindicator. Now I mentioned that the neutralizers are good against ships that are dependent on capacitor, and well, the Vindicator is one such ship. Now, there is a golden rule. Do not brawl a Vindicator. Well, now I'm sending my ult into certain death. Although the Vindicator seems to be shooting at something else now. They're not interested in the Daredevil, they're not interested in the Revelation, they are interested in the bubble. Yep, they're not shooting at Daredevil. And they are not shooting anymore, because there goes the capacitor. No capacitor, no blasters, no tank, nothing. And the fun thing is, most players don't notice that their capacitor is gone, and usually they wonder how they died. But they usually died because they didn't pay attention to the capacitor and the current capacitor volume. Okay, that was the Vindicator, and they dropped some juicy stuff. Okay, well, I'll have to do a couple trips to the station and back in order to loot all that stuff. It dropped some very juicy items. Let's take a look at the kill. 3.9 billion, looks like a sniper Vindicator. An armor tank, okay. They had some defense, but that wouldn't work. So even if they shot at the Daredevil, they would not be able to hit at 0. Next we have a Daredevil, my apologies, a Damiel. The capacitor of the Damiel is killed, and well, they were not able to use the afterburner or my co-op drive to burn back to the gate, and they have been killed. Nice. Let's take a look at the kill. 631 million, and this was a cargo Damiel. Looks like a cargo Damiel, not really sure where the turrets are on this ship. They're missing. Next, we had a Astro. Always hurts a piece of my soul to shoot an Astro, but a kill is a kill. A Sister of Eve ship is a Sister of Eve ship. Let's take a look. 1.3 billion. Now this is a very sad Astro. Shield tank Astro is a very sad Astro. Don't make the Astro sad, use an armor tank. A shield tank on Sister of Eve is cursed. Next target, surprisingly another Astro. I guess it is Astro season today. And one fun fact, some of them go in the system and they scan and they don't even see where they are. And that was the case with this Astro. They scanned and well, it did not end for them that well. Now this is a little weird build. A blue scanner and dual webs. Could be a miner hunter. Basically, you find the mining sites, you go in and kill the miners because they can't warp anywhere. And I would say that's a very interesting tactic that I should probably try out at one point. That was a my apologies. That was a Gila that I didn't even lock on time because my tablet decided to have 0.1 frames per second. Although my phone, I'm actually playing the game a lot more on a tablet now because of the big screen. Huge display, by the way, huge screen, basically laptop screen, and it's much more comfortable to play the game on a huge screen. And this is the cheapest and one of the saddest Gilas that I've ever seen. Oh well. Let's go back to the main boat. Next target, we have an Ashimu, webbed by the Daredevil. Looks like a very interesting nanocore. We'll find out very soon. Okay, a little bit worried on the fit there. 1.4 billion, a beam laser Ashimu, okay, a capacitor battery on a Blood Raider. That's as useful as a shield booster on a on an Abaddon. That's how useful it is. Next target we have a Dramil. Dramil getting yeeted pretty quickly. And the Dramil has been killed. Another one bites dust, I guess. That's a very good song, by the way. Should Google that. Should search that song on YouTube. I have that song stuck in my head now. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to listen to it 1,000 times tonight. Okay, this looked like a PvP Dramil with a good loot drop there. That's a pretty solid loot drop. Next target we have another Ashimu. Now against the Blood Raiders I love to use the neutralizers. It kills their capacitor so quickly. And now the capacitor on the Ashimu is depleted. They're trying to burn to the gate, but it's a little bit difficult to do that without an afterburn or a max plot drive. And they have been destroyed. Second Ashimu for today. Nice. What's up with the curse today? What the hell is this build? Why a hybrid tank? Just why? It's an Ashimu. Big shield or armor, not both. Next we have another Daredevil. Oh my god. Why do I keep calling Dramils Daredevils? I have no idea why that's the case. But anyway, another Dramil. Webbed. Well, it's safe to say that there is no capacity left in this little frigate. The Dramil is now into low armor. Well, this is a lucky Dramil. For some reason the Revelation decided not to hit, and finally, okay, there we go. Dramil has been destroyed. Excellent. Time to take a look at the kill. I have a wall of shame in my phone's gallery or tablet gallery, where I put every single Voyage Core kill and every single Porcelain Core kill, because it's just embarrassing to lose a ship while having the one-click escape course. And this is a golden Voyage Core. Okay, a premium Voyage Core. Lovely. That's probably one of my most favorite kills to date by now. Next we have a Tornado 2. They have been webbed. Probably a sniper tornado. Most of these ships are snipers. Okay, they have been destroyed. Let's take a look at the kill. 378 million, not bad. As I've guessed, a sniper. It is to be expected that most of these ships are snipers. They're pretty good snipers after all, and they're fast, so they are really good for this purpose. Now let's go to the next target. If I decide to change the screen here, not really sure what I'm doing. I think, you know, it's funny when I sometimes, you know, forget to stop recording, and I find out, oh, I have a 40-50 minute video recording of me spinning around the ship, and yeah, those files are huge in the storage. A Vexor 2, a very interesting and a very unique little ship. I actually really like the Vexor lineup in this game. However, they could be a bit better. I would say they don't feel as unique as the EVE Online ships. I think that's the main problem. They don't have anything that's unique to them, and that's a big problem, I would say. That's a very big problem. And well, this was a empty Vexor 2 for some reason. Okay, well, let's not look at that build anymore. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, it's the salty guy. Okay, let's see what they're trying to do here. Ram the revelation with a interceptor. What can possibly go wrong? Let's ram a 5-kilometer long ship with, and they run away. Of course. Well, that is to be expected. That is to be expected. After all, I'm pretty scary at this gate. Now, next target we have another Vexor 2. Just when I talked about these ships being a little bit rare, another one popped in. Now, this one was a little bit lucky because my alt crashed and I wasn't able to log the alt back in on time, so the Vexor escaped. Next, we have a Hound 3, a tier 10 bomber. Quite a interesting and quite a rare ship to encounter. Also a very small ship, but thankfully in 3 hits the bomber has been destroyed. Okay, let's go back around the big boat. There is some salt in local. Not really sure what's saying, but there is some salt. Not from the bomber pilot, but from someone else. And this was a very interesting. I like the build actually. I really do like this build. It works wonders in a bomber fleet. Basically, your target can never lock you on if you have the proper build and if you have the proper fleet and build. So that's a very solid bomber build. Next, we have a RB2 cover tops, a potential Sino ship. They have been webbed, and the high-angle turrets are doing some good hits, and they have been destroyed. The revelation with the high-angle turrets is basically like a Apocalypse Striker in terms of DPS, in terms of alpha damage. It acts like a battleship with crazy tank, and you all know that. You guys know that my revelation is one of the tankiest ships in the game at the moment. Can be more expensive. I'm thinking about doing more A types, more B types, more X types, but with time. Okay, that was a solid kill. Next we have a Probe Explorer. Now these little ships can be quite pricey if they carry some good scanners on board. So always try to get them if you can. The capacitor on that ship is killed, but the second neutralizer, just in case, to if the capacitor was already dead, now it's even more dead with the second neutralizer. They woke up, but at the wrong moment. They're still alive because I keep missing. Eventually it will hit, and there we go. The Probe Explorer has been destroyed. Nice. Let's take a look at the kill. 430 million, not bad. Now this ship is missing some modules. Okay, and they had some integration rigs as well. Pretty nice. Would have been a very good kill if they had all the modules for exploration. Next we have an Oracle. Okay, capacitor on the Oracle is dead. Sending my alt to web the target. And the Oracle has been destroyed. Okay. Let me go back to the big boat and let's take a look at the kill. 352 million, a classic sniper. As expected from assault battlecruisers, they are usually snipers, and this one is no different. And the last target for today, a Neros 2. Is this Neros going to drop some nice stuff like the first one? Well, only one way to find out. Well, unfortunately, it did not drop anything, but you know, was still a nice kill. Okay, well, that was a very nice and lovely run with all of these ships that I was flying today. Hope that you guys have enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.